Now, President Trump is also openly attacking the Federal Reserve's chief, and the markets don't like any of it. In fact, stocks in America are headed for the worst December fall since the Great Depression.
It was the worst day of trade, even on a Christmas Eve. Dow Jones dropped over 650 points. Trade was highly volatile. Nasdaq and S&P 500 lost over 2%, all on a single day in trade. The reason? Donald Trump. The United States president is said to be planning to remove U.S. Federal Reserve's chairman, Jerome Powell.
The U.S. economy has grown.
Leaders of 6 major banks in the U.S. spoke to Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin over the weekend. This call was made to reassure investors on the strength of the U.S. economy. Mnuchin also said that Trump never discussed replacing Powell. Only for a Home Alone Trump to rebuff on Twitter, the president tweeted, and I quote, "The only problem our economy has is Fed. They don't have a feel for the market. They don't understand necessary trade wars or strong dollars or Democrat shutdowns over borders. The Fed is like a powerful golfer who can't score because he has no touch. He can't putt."
I think the Fed is out of control. I think what they're doing is wrong. Under the Obama administration, you had a lot of help because they had very little interest. You know, when you talk about economies, our economy is far better than that, but we're paying interest, and they weren't. They were using funny money.
And what is Powell's mistake? Powell hiked interest rates last week and kept pace with the gradual unwinding of the Fed balance sheet, something that did not impress Donald Trump.
Many FOMC participants had expected that economic conditions would likely call for about 3 more rate increases in 2019. We have brought that down a bit and now think it is more likely that the economy will grow in a way that will call for 2 interest rate increases over the course of next year.
Thanks to the president, both Dow and S&P 500 are now trading with losses over 10% for the year. And December is usually the time when markets are buoyant. As if tripping up financial markets was not enough, politicians in Washington, D.C. took pot shots at each other for the shutdown. Trump continued blaming the Democrats for compromising on border security. Democratic leaders Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer blamed Trump for plunging the country into chaos ahead of the festive season. The two parties disagree on the extent of funding for the border wall. The public would start feeling the effects of the shutdown from tomorrow. More than 8 lakh federal workers are working without pay. The markets are down ahead of Christmas. Trade war fears loom large. Already the fall in the US markets is showing ripple effects in Asia. Ironically, the national Christmas tree in Washington, a symbol of the country's seasonal cheer, went dark on Monday, standing as an icon of a government in paralysis during the shutdown. The National Park Service tweeted that it would remain closed to the public, quote-unquote, until further notice. Quite a bleak Christmas, but when the President of the United States decides to play spoilsport, there is not much that can be done. Bureau Report, Wion, World is One.